Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Aries, Sun, Moon or Rising. It's the weekly reading for the week of July 1st to the 7th. Your cards this week: Aries, energies leaving, completing or transitioning. We have the King of Wands. Focused energies this week, we have the Five of Swords, clarified with the Nine of Crystals. We have the Chariot coming in towards the end of the week. So Aries, it is a biggie. Look, I find that Aries readings are often like a pentacle fest, It's all about, building up the financial resources and success and that type of thing. And so this is quite a different one for you guys. I'm Aries as well, so I'm kind of interested in this energy going on here. I think it makes sense to me. So see how you guys go with it and if it resonates for you. Okay, energies leaving, completing or transitioning. We have the King of Wands, which came out with the Five of Wands. So look, guys, you can see that you've got a couple of fives here. We do have some conflict energy. I think some of you are finding yourself in a situation that has been quite argumentative. For some of you, it may be in your personal relationships, whether it's your romantic partner, a family member, it could be a colleague, it could be your boss at work. It is also highly likely that the person that's involved in the situation with you is a fire sign. Like King of Wands is usually, a Leo. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It could also be a fellow Aries or a Sagittarius. But either way, the person that is in the situation with you could be just someone who takes on the traits of the King of Wands. So someone who is kind of quite dominant, someone who's quite fiery. So it doesn't really surprise me that we have the Five of Wands energy coming up here, because this King of Wands person, if you rub them up the wrong way, they are going to unleash that dragon fire on you. I just saw that, and then I just saw it in the card here. They are literally going to breathe fire on you. And that's what happens, if you're in an argument with somebody of this type. So I also feel that this argumentative energy or this conflict or strife, tension, was kind of crisis situation in this relationship, and I use the term relationship for all those possible situations that I just mentioned before, has potentially had the an impact on your ability to see clearly in your life, to cloud your vision. That's what I'm trying to say, to cloud your vision. Sometimes when we are wrapped up in a situation that is just all about that argumentative energy, we can't see our way forward, and it also clouds our spiritual perception, it clouds our intuition, and you just really literally can't see out of it. That's the kind of energy that I'm seeing here, Aries, and I feel like it's been going on for quite a while. So it's good to see that that's in your recent past. However, we do have a similar pattern happening in your focus energy. So guys, we have the Five of Swords here. I wanted to pull a second card for that position. I wasn't surprised what came out, and that was the Tower. I don't usually use reversed reading cards in my readings, but I've kept it in the reverse position at the moment because it makes more sense for this reading. So we have the Five of Swords here, which is obviously, a card of conflict, being a number 5. It sort of backs up that Five of Wands energy that we've just seen. However, it's also a card of victory. It's a card of victory, but it asks you, what was the cost of that victory? Now we have the Tower card here. So the Tower card comes into a reading when the universe is stepping in to intervene in a situation because potentially, you weren't taking action, you weren't following the signs, and it's trying to sort of bring it down for you. So the Tower card says, okay, the situation was built on a shaky foundation. There's no sort of sense of stability here. We want to bring it down for you. So it creates a situation, or it could give you a massive insight or revelation about the situation. And through that, it asks you to, allow the Tower to fall and move on. However, in the reverse in the reversed position, guys, this indicates that yes, there has been Tower moments or a Tower moment coming in this week, but you keep on rebuilding your tower. And this is sort of the number one message of not to do when the tower comes in. You're supposed to let it fall. You can't rebuild the tower. If you rebuild the tower, usually you just get stuck in that cycle, and 1 month, 6 months, however far down the track, we have another tower moment. And really, what it's saying is that there needs to be real change in order for you to carry on with the situation. So you wouldn't be able to rebuild the tower on the same foundation. You would need to create something completely different within that relationship, really commit to change together. So even though, you might make up from the argument and find your victory together, what it's saying is that, you might be victorious, but you are victorious in rebuilding your tower. But that is just not what we're supposed to do when the tower comes in. We're supposed to surrender to it and let it fall. The tower is a blessing from the universe. It comes in to get you back on your path. So we need to respect that and not try and, find a victory within it and rebuild it and carry on. Now, with the clarification of the Nine of Crystals here, guys, what this tells me is that, you have everything you need to be abundant and successful and self-sufficient anyway. So you may have been afraid of letting the situation go. How will I be financially? If I have to let a job go, will I be able to get another job? This tells me that you have all the skills and resources and tools to be okay on your own. You're going to be fine out of the situation. You are going to find your abundance. This is the reminder. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget your power and energy. You might be feeling beaten down from the situation. Your self-esteem may have taken a hit. But this tells me, you have all the resources within to move through this. Not only move through this, but be more, fulfilled, happy, successful, abundant than what you are currently. Towards the end of the week, we have the Chariot and the Five of Pentacles. Another 5, guys. So I see, 5 is the number of conflict and change, right? We've seen 2 number 5s that clearly indicate conflict. Here at this number 5, we see the change. Okay, so the situation was literally, making you feel left out in the cold, making you feel withdrawn, isolated. If it was a relationship, potentially, you weren't getting the emotional fulfillment and love that you required. If it was a job situation, maybe, you didn't have a good working relationship with your manager or colleagues. There was no promotion on the horizon. You just weren't happy in that situation. That's what we see with that 5 of Pentacles here. But we also see 2 people who can't see the forest for the trees, meaning they can't see that, there is a place to go, there is another solution, there is an alternative, because they're too stuck in the situation. They're too tied up in their own misery, too tied up in their own victim mentality, too busy trying to rebuild a tower, too busy trying to find victory after argument after argument after argument, without seeing, hey, look, there's a place to go. There's a place to go, or an alternative situation or solution where I can find my own power. I can be abundant. I can be successful. I don't need anyone else for that. And here we have, we have the Chariot energy coming in. I think this is your turning point where you decide, well, you know what? I'm going to go into that refuge. I'm going to call on myself that power to move on from the situation. And it will not be easy, Aries. There will be opposing thoughts, feelings, and ideas about it, as represented by the Sphinxes here. Should I stay? Should I go? Really, really wondering what the right thing is to do. Feeling torn. That's what I'm trying to say. But, through your own will and your own intention, you can bring those opposing forces together and propel forward. It's the only way you can do this, is to control those thoughts. All those thoughts that have gotten the better of you and had you rebuilding your tower, bring them together and propel forward and move on from the situation. That's what we see here in the Chariot card. And yes, it is hard. It's, look, you've got a heavy chariot to pull and you don't even have any reins in order to do that. But we see here the character in the card holds the Magician's wand, which says, you know, it is up to you. It is up to you as the creator of your own reality to co-create with the universe. It's up to you to use the power of your own intention. Only you can decide when to move forward, but you have that power within you. And through, you know, using your intention, that's when you'll bring these opposing forces together and be able to move forward into a strong new direction. And look how bright and sunny this card is. You know, it's really, really, you're moving into much brighter times. For some of you too, with the Chariot energy, you may actually be physically moving on from the situation. You actually might be traveling or moving homes or that sort of thing. So there you have it, Aries. So it's a little bit intense, but I really see that if you cannot keep rebuilding this tower, there are really beautiful things waiting for you. And you know, you don't need any help. You don't need to call on anyone else. You've got everything you need to make this happen, and you will be absolutely okay. It's in your nature. So Aries, that's what I have for you this week. I wish you all the best with it. Keep in mind, it is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with every Aries out there, and I'll be here with you for another reading next week.